Well, happy Sabbath to all. Happy Sabbath. It's so good to see you. We miss you for a couple of weeks. And it's because of
Not really.
this person.
Not really. You didn't send the video that you said you did, and that has nothing to do with me. That's not my fault.
We have with us our daughter. Welcome
Hi,
to
Daddy.
this beautiful
You got me in
setting.
front of these lights. I'm sweating. I need a fan.
So,
It's too hot. It's too hot, Daddy.
blessings. Oh, welcome. We are here, and Julie's is here.
We're in an air-conditioned-less house.
Wait, we got to comment on this. You're looking nice.
Thank you, Daddy.
But
Leave it alone. Thank you, Daddy.
the hair,
Next topic. Next topic.
something is growing fast. My friends, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good time. And we really feel it for the people in Hawaii that the fire destroyed these homes and people lost their life. And deep in our hearts, we feel it for them, and we want to remember them in prayer, the families who lost their loved ones, lost their home. And I know the government will help a lot of people, but losing your life is losing a loved one is not the best, and they need your prayers. Remember the family, and all over the world where things are happening. That's why we always encourage people to put God first and give God your heart completely, so you can be in the number in the resurrection morning. Okay, so there's one thing we wanted to talk about, but we're not going to make it long today, but there's two things we want to talk about. You know, we just shipped a container off not too long ago, a couple of months ago. Finally, it made it to Grenada, to my friend Pastor Prince and his team there, his Grace Ministry. And God make a way for us to pay for that container, because a lot of times we have to, find the funds and take care of it. And God opened a way for us to do that. And that took us a while to get it, but it finally made it there, and we thank God for that. And Julie's and her husband helped pack that container, and that's a great job. And I think she take a break from container, but we all normally take breaks from container, but it comes back around somehow. One of these days we'll do that. Now, I wanted to talk a little about the book of Esther.
Okay.
A little thing in the book of Esther. The book of Esther have about 10 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if there's a story, the story of Esther.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about that story?
What do I know about
The story of Esther?
What do you mean, Dad?
I mean, what's the characters in there? What's the main, who are the main folks in there?
Okay, so you have Esther, you have Mordecai, Haman, and the king.
Right, so those
top four.
Those are the top four. The story is interesting about the story. What is the main the main topics, or what is the main story? What is the main point?
The point of
Esther's story.
The main point of Esther. Well, okay, when you're growing up, you watch things, right? For Bible stories or Bible movies or whatever. Esther was always supposed to be teaching you that Esther was brave, and she followed God's leading, or the leading that she got to help her people. She stood up for her people.
Mm-hmm.
And she went into the king's, what was it called? The place that she went into the place where no one was supposed to go unless they were summoned.
Yeah, the king's quarters. Or whatever
Yes.
it is.
And he reached out
It's
his
shown,
scepter, and then she invited Haman, the same man who's trying to kill her people,
Right.
into the dinner time or whatever, so that she could ask the king to save her life and her people's life.
Yes, I wonder if you'll cut that out.
I probably will. You okay?
Yeah.
Water.
Okay. No.
To save the king, ask the king to save her life and the life of her people. But before that, there was even the whole thing about like her being chosen.
Yeah, because I mean the story have so much stuff in there.
There's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff in there that you could preach on, but I want to find out something.
Okay.
The word when you think about God He's controlling, He's the one who guiding, He's the one that protecting, He's the one that, and we use that Esther in such a way when we're preaching and so on. But do you know the word God is not in Esther?
No, I would not have known that.
Yeah, God,
known that.
the word God is not in the book of Esther. So we wonder, like Jonah have a lot of God in there and so on. God. But you see, it's a story. It's a story of character and building character. Because in Esther, you have all these different people that could represent something. Like you have Haman. Haman hated Mordecai.
Yes.
Hated him because he didn't bow down.
Right.
And God said, don't bow down to any false god or anybody like that.
Right.
So he knew that. So Mordecai knew the scripture. He knew God.
Okay, yes.
Even though God was in that, God is not in that, in the word God is not there.
Right.
Because he knows that.
Right.
And then, plus he hated the Mordecai people, which is the Jews. So he wanted them to be destroyed. Okay. And then Haman's wife. Do you know Haman's wife is the one who talks about billing? Haman never mentioned let's
do a 40-foot gallows.
Yes. You know who did that?
Is the wife.
The wife.
Well, wasn't she like goading him? Like, wasn't there a point where after the king was restless and he couldn't sleep and he's like, scribe, read me the chronicles of life or whatever it is, and he was reading about his life. The scribe was reading to him what had happened in his past, right? And he came to the part where Mordecai had warned him that these two people were going to try to kill him.
Right.
So then he was like, oh, what has been done for Mordecai? And
Right.
he was like, okay, there's nothing here that says something's been done. He's like, oh, okay. Well, Haman comes in.
Haman came in to tell him
he wanted to kill.
He wanted to put him in the car, give him the okay.
Yes. So Haman proceeds to be asked by the king.
What should we do?
What should we do for someone that I would like to honor? And Haman think it's him.
Yeah, because he's always even going for dinner with with Esther.
Boasted.
He was going to dinner with Esther and the king, so he boasted into his wife and his other people there.
Look at me, I'm big, I'm bad, And so he thinks it's him.
And he tell them what, because he thinks it's him. So he told them what.
So he's like, okay, well, let your best horse be pulled out.
Yeah.
One of
best
robes.
Yeah.
And back then, the robe signified a lot. And if you wore something that the king wore, that meant you were something. Like you were a big shot.
Special, yeah.
So he made the best possible outcome for somebody, thinking that it was him that was getting all of this.
Right.
And then he's like, take that and do that for the man that sits at the gate. Mordecai, same guy came in.
And I figure... the Bible didn't tell us how he felt right there, but I'm sure he shocked and so he have to do that around the neighborhood and around the people, and
so
I guess after that he went home,
and his wife, well, surely this man will defeat you.
Yeah,
you will be beneath him.
There's no way you're gonna kill him. No way he's gonna die because the king already honored him and give him the tell. No way. So, but he still have in mind that these other people will be killed anyway.
So that's definitely a big character for Haman, like his wife goading him on, like encouraging him. Oh, look at you! You need to do better, kind of,
So then, what can we take from that story where the husband and wife?
I gotta look out for what.
Wife is sticking on the husband's side. Training. It's like Job, where Job's wife said, "Oh, why don't you
curse God and die?"
But so here is a situation where the wife was not stopping him from doing wrong. She's joining with him to do wrong. Okay? Plus the other members of his court right there. So all that is part of wrong thing. But let's get before that, another story. Before that, the person who was queen before.
Oh,
what's her name?
Vashti.
Vashti was invited to come to the.
Well,
so that the king now, he was drunk and he was having a party. What do you think? You think he wanted to show off his wife?
That's exactly what it was.
So she knew that that was wrong then.
She didn't like, either she knew it was wrong or she did not like, I haven't read it recently, but she didn't like that he was trying to parade her around like a trophy.
Yeah.
Like, what woman likes, oh, that's just my trophy over there. Look at it. Isn't it pretty and shiny?
Right. So the king, again, let's say he was wrong to do that.
Yes.
His wife, would we say his wife was right to do what she did?
So. I mean, I don't remember.
Yeah, because you can't use people like that. You can't use your wife, you use your husband, you can't use. So you can't do that. And I still wonder why the word God is not there. But the whole point is, here is a situation that represents a bad husband. Mm-hmm. And also a wife who would not stand for nonsense. Although the Bible says the woman, the man is the head of the home and the head of the wife. But still, you can't treat people like that. And sometimes these ladies have to stand up and say, no, you cannot do that. Mm-hmm. Because in America and other places, their wives are leaving their husband and getting involved, and women and men are doing the same. Sometimes these two wives, two family, three of them get together and do bad things, So it's good that she could stand up for and so she was fired.
Basically.
She was
she was basically fired.
She was fired. And another thing, why they have to stay a long time away? Is their wife, is their husband, or just the queen? Because
wait, what?
I mean, is the queen? She's a queen or she's a wife? Because
she's both.
Yeah, because it takes so long. Because even when they chose the other queen, she said she didn't see him for 30 days.
See, okay, so in those days, either they had two palaces or they had a huge palace and they had different sides. But I think they had like the queen's palace or I forgot what it called, like not harem, but it was where all the women were.
Yeah.
I once read this book on, people adaptations of stuff. Like, it's from the Bible, but where there's space, they add whatever they want to add. In that one, there was an entire palace where all of the concubines, the wives, and the virgins lived. Mm-hmm. And the highest person in that palace was the queen. She was the ruler of everybody in that. And when you want them, he was in a different palace, and they would send the servants to go get the queen.
Right.
Yes, they would call for her or whatever.
Okay.
So that's why you don't see them. They don't eat in the same table like we do. Your wife lives in a different house. Right.
Okay, so now they want to find a queen, and that's when the king send out to find these lovely ladies, mm-hmm. and they chose Esther because she was the best natural beauty one, mm-hmm. and she was the one. Mm-hmm. But she was trained by Mordecai, mm-hmm. In a Christian home, mm-hmm. Man who's teach well and taught the children the best way.
Mm-hmm. Her cousin,
right? Her cousin Mordecai. So after they chose her, Mordecai became the doorkeeper. You know that, right?
Was it right after?
Well, yeah. After she got the job and everything, Mordecai was doing the doorkeeper. And you think some people say doorkeeper? Why did she get a better job for him instead of just being sitting at the door? But somebody said that at the door you can hear a lot of things, a lot of news and so on, and that's when
That's because Mordecai was at the door. Look how God worked it out. God allowed him to get that job. That low job, as some people call it low. But when there's some people don't look up to people with small jobs. But God can use you. Doesn't matter what job you have.
Yeah, of course.
So do you know that's when he
heard Big Bang? Big Bang and Teresh?
He heard about the plot to kill the king.
Yes.
And he sent a message
to the queen.
Because
he didn't know who to trust.
Right. But that's how God worked it out. So we can say God worked that out. And then finally, when the king couldn't sleep one night, he started reading up the records, and he saw where this man saved his life, and that's when he brought in the story that you talk about. So now all the people are going to be killed. Haman got the ring and put the stamp on it, and that's the law. And then the story continued. When they realized the decree went out for all the Jews to be killed.
Right.
You see, nobody knew that Esther was a Jew.
He told her not to tell
her he's a Jew.
Her name wasn't even Esther. It was Hadassah.
Right.
And what is that? A Persian name?
Yeah.
Esther was a Persian name.
Yeah. So now, all these people are going to be killed. Mordecai sent message to her, and they send the letter and show her. And Mordecai decided to tell everybody they need to fast and pray.
Right.
Now that's show you God is in the picture.
Right.
We know God is there. We know God is involved. Even though the word God is not in the Bible.
That's so weird though.
Yeah, it's weird that the word God is not there, but the whole story is how God worked things out to save people.
Yes.
And that's why I always tell people, the time of trouble will come and God will protect you. You don't have to worry. You don't have to fight about it. You don't have to sell everything you have and go to the country. God will take care of you in the time of trouble. You have to stay faithful. Give God your heart. Surrender all to Jesus. Love Him. Serve Him. And when the time of trouble comes, just before Jesus Christ come back, He will take care of you. Just like where He saved the Jews back there.
You actually preached today, and he spoke on all of that. I wonder if I can drop a link in your subscription.
Yeah.
If I can, I'll put a link below. So it's going to be in the description of the video. So not when you do the WhatsApp. If you're on YouTube, the actual YouTube channel itself, there's going to be a description underneath. You just click it, and it'll take you a link straight to, if I can figure it out, I'll send the link straight to the, what's the name of the church?
Mount Tacoma.
Mount Tacoma SDA church.
And in that summer, we were more talking about the time of trouble, but we was trying to tell the people, even though the time of trouble is coming, take care of business now. So it doesn't make sense you talking about the time of trouble and you can't love your brother and sister.
Right.
That's the whole point. Anyway, let's get back to the news. So now she have to. The king is telling. Mordecai is telling her, "You're not going to get off to you. I sure God put you there. He didn't use the word God, but he said, I showed the time.
You've been placed in this for such a time as this.
For time of this.
For such a time as this.
You are born now. This is the time when you are born. This is the time for you to do your work for God. So Mordecai tell her, okay, you got to take care of business. You got to go to the king. You got to go to... But I haven't seen the king for a month, and we can't just go in like that, otherwise I'll be dead. And then what happened? When he went...
Well, she decided that she was going to fast for 3 days and 3 nights with her and her servants.
And she sent messages to him.
She told him to do the same. And then after that, she would go into the king.
And she did that. And then she went into the king. And everybody
Yes.
Oh, she was gonna be
She's
killed
gonna get killed.
because you're not supposed to just come in like that. But she was so brave because she believed God. I believe that she prayed to God and God answered her prayers.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, go ahead.
For sure. No,
Okay, that's it.
that was it. We didn't go in order.
Yeah, we didn't go in order, but the whole point is we wanted to make a point that even though the word God is not in it, God saved the Jews. And he can save you today.
He's always saving the Jews. I'm sorry.
Well, we all spiritual Jews, you know that.
Yes, he is. But
Yeah.
my goodness. Daddy.
Yeah, we are all spiritual Jews. Yeah, somebody was against the Jews in some country in Miami, I think, on the beach. The Jews couldn't go to the beach, something like that, some years ago. And you know what they did? The Jews went out and bought the whole.
There you go. Good job.
Buy up
Good
the
job.
whole everything on the beach there, every
Good
building
job.
and so.
Good
But
job.
God is good. Let's trust God. And we are happy that you're here. We'll continue this talk next
I
Sabbath.
think next week we should talk about people and how sensitive they've become in this world.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's the topic.
I saw something just ridiculous, Daddy. Just ridiculous.
When you saw it?
This week.
Oh okay.
There's people posting something and people getting angry about it and
Oh,
saying that
yeah.
they're being racist,
Oh yeah.
but against Jews.
Okay. Yes. Let's get ready for the coming of Jesus. We'll talk about that next week again.
Okay, then.
Jolie's topic. Blessings.
My fan. It's so hot. Oh, yes. Thank you, Jesus. Leave the wig alone.
I was actually that this hair growing so fast. I want to know what's going on. Blessings. Lord is good.
Ah.
Trust him. Blessings.